As we move into our 60s, the body undergoes a subtle but undeniable shift. Metabolism slows, inflammation becomes easier to trigger, and the systems we've relied on for decades, our heart, our immune defenses, our memory, our digestion, all begin to require a little more intentional support. This is where the foods we choose each day start to matter more than ever. One of the simplest, most practical, and most underrated categories of food for healthy aging is nuts. These small, compact powerhouses deliver extraordinary benefits when chosen well, and they can truly tilt the balance toward better health in ways that feel effortless and sustainable. What makes nuts so meaningful for older adults is the unique combination of healthy fats, plant-based proteins, essential minerals, and natural antioxidants. These aren't just nutrients, they're tools the body uses to repair itself, calm inflammation, generate steady energy, and maintain the resilience that aging often tries to take away. Many people think of nuts simply as snacks, but I want you to think of them as daily investments, tiny, nutrient-dense deposits that quietly strengthen your foundation for health. For seniors especially, the richness of omega fats found in certain nuts helps keep blood vessels flexible and supportive, reducing the risk of cardiovascular problems that become more common with age. Meanwhile, antioxidants from nuts help neutralize free radicals, the byproducts of normal metabolism that tend to accumulate more rapidly later in life. What's equally important is how nuts support stable blood sugar, something many people struggle with after 60. Their healthy fats and fiber slow down digestion just enough to prevent spikes and crashes in energy. This steadiness is what helps you stay alert, maintain focus, and avoid the fatigue that so often creeps in during the day. And because nuts are naturally anti-inflammatory, they help calm the low-grade inflammation that contributes to joint stiffness, cognitive decline, and even weight gain. There's also the practical side of things. Nuts don't require cooking, refrigeration, or preparation. They're easy to carry, easy to portion, and easy to incorporate into your daily routine. When food becomes simpler, it becomes more consistent, and consistency is what fuels long-term results. So when we talk about the best and worst nuts for seniors, we're not talking about trends or preferences. We're talking about strategic choices that allow your body to work with you, not against you, in this new stage of life. And those choices can make all the difference. When we talk about the 5 best nuts for seniors over 60, we're really talking about the foods that work with your biology at this stage of life, not against it. Each of these nuts brings something unique to the table, something your body can use immediately to support healthier aging. Think of them as small but powerful allies that help reinforce your circulation, sharpen your thinking, stabilize your energy, and even protect your metabolism. What makes them stand out isn't just their nutrient content, but how those nutrients interact with the changes happening inside an aging body. Some nuts are particularly rich in omega-3 fatty acids, and these are especially valuable because they support the health of your blood vessels. Maintaining flexible, responsive blood vessels becomes one of the most important priorities after 60, because it affects everything from your heart to your brain. Others contain plant-based compounds that help reduce inflammation, those subtle aches, stiffness, and slower recoveries that tend to creep up over time. The right nuts provide natural compounds that help calm that internal fire, giving your joints and tissues the chance to work smoothly again. There are nuts that excel in supporting brain health as well. As we age, the brain thrives on nutrients that enhance blood flow, protect neurons, and stabilize energy delivery. Some nuts offer precisely that combination, helping preserve clarity, memory, and focus. They also contain minerals like magnesium and copper, which play a role in nerve health and communication. The beautiful thing about these nuts is that their benefits accumulate. The more consistently you include them, the stronger and more resilient your system becomes. And for those concerned about metabolic health, certain nuts help maintain stable blood sugar and provide slow, steady energy that lasts. This is especially important because many people in their 60s struggle with fluctuations in energy or cravings that make it harder to maintain a balanced diet. These nuts help smooth out those highs and lows, creating a more stable rhythm throughout the day. They're satisfying, they curb hunger naturally, and they do it without the crash that processed snacks often cause. Each of these 5 nuts plays a different but complementary role, and together they form a simple, powerful toolkit for aging well. When you choose them intentionally and enjoy them regularly, you're not just eating a snack, you're reinforcing a healthier, stronger, and more vibrant version of yourself. What truly makes certain nuts stand out for seniors is the remarkable way their natural compounds interact with the body's aging systems. As we cross 60, our cells don't respond quite the same way they once did. Circulation slows, inflammatory signals become louder, and the body's ability to protect itself from stress gradually becomes less efficient. This is exactly where the best nuts show their strength, not by overpowering these changes, but by working with the body's own biology to restore balance and stability. Their benefits aren't accidental. They come from specific bioactive compounds that are uniquely suited for supporting healthy aging. Take the natural plant antioxidants found in many of these nuts. These aren't simple nutrients, they're highly active defenders that help neutralize oxidative stress, something that accumulates more rapidly later in life. Oxidative stress is one of the quiet drivers behind aging skin, slower healing, stiff joints, and even memory decline. But the antioxidants in nuts step in like tiny shields, reducing the wear and tear your cells experience each day. Then there are the polyphenols, complex compounds that help calm inflammation throughout the body. This matters deeply because chronic, low-level inflammation is one of the most significant contributors to age-related disease. When you consume nuts rich in these compounds, you're helping your body dial down the signals that cause pain, stiffness, fatigue, and cognitive fog. Beyond that, many of these nuts contain essential minerals like magnesium, manganese, and zinc. These minerals support nerve function, bone strength, and energy production, 3 areas that deserve more attention as we age. Their presence in nuts makes them incredibly efficient foods, delivering multiple benefits at once without overwhelming the body. Some nuts even contain amino acids that support the health and flexibility of blood vessels. When blood vessels function well, everything improves. Your heart works more efficiently, your brain receives better nourishment, and your tissues get the oxygen they need to stay strong. And then there are the omega fats, especially the omega-3 found in some of the best nuts. These fats are vital for keeping cell membranes flexible, supporting joint comfort, and preserving cognitive performance. They're also deeply calming to inflammation, which means they help create a healthier internal environment day after day. When you understand how these bioactive compounds work, it becomes clear that choosing the right nuts isn't just about taste or habit. It's about giving your body the tools it needs to stay vibrant, capable, and resilient as the years continue to unfold. While the best nuts can support healthy aging, there are also nuts that become less ideal for seniors, not because they are inherently harmful, but because of the way they interact with the body. After 60, As we age, digestion slows, inflammation becomes easier to trigger, and the body becomes more sensitive to certain fats, additives, and processing methods. So when we talk about the 5 worst nuts for seniors, it's really about understanding which ones place extra stress on the system rather than offering meaningful support. The goal isn't fear or avoidance, it's clarity, so you can make choices that truly help your body rather than hinder it. Some nuts are naturally higher in omega-6 fats, and while omega-6 is an essential fatty acid, too much of it, especially without enough omega-3 to balance it, can amplify inflammation. That might show up as joint stiffness, digestive discomfort, or simply feeling more worn down. For someone over 60 who may already be dealing with inflammation from arthritis, metabolic changes, or circulation issues, adding more inflammatory load can work against long-term health goals. Then there are nuts that are commonly sold heavily salted or seasoned, and the sodium alone can be a problem. Excess salt can elevate blood pressure, cause fluid retention, and place unnecessary strain on the heart, things that become more relevant as we grow older. Some nuts are frequently coated in sugars, honey glazes, or candy, like shells. These added sugars spike blood glucose quickly, and for older adults working to maintain stable energy or manage prediabetes or diabetes, those spikes can create sudden fatigue, irritability, and long-term metabolic stress. The nut itself might not be the issue, it's the processing that turns it into something your body can't efficiently use. There are also nuts that are simply harder to digest because of their density or high fiber content. For seniors who experience slower gut motility or heightened digestive sensitivity, this can lead to bloating or discomfort that overshadows any potential benefit. And we can't overlook portion size. The nuts on the worst list are often the ones people tend to overeat, and because nuts are so calorie dense, consuming too many can contribute to gradual weight gain. That weight often settles around the abdomen, where it contributes to inflammation and hormonal changes that make aging feel heavier literally and figuratively. So, identifying the worst nuts isn't about restriction, it's about removing the subtle barriers that make it harder for your body to thrive and replacing them with choices that support your health. With every bite, one of the most important ideas to understand about nuts is that their health impact isn't determined only by the nut itself, but by how it's prepared, processed, and portioned. A nut in its natural state can be a powerful ally for your health, but once it's roasted in oils, coated in sugars, or buried under layers of salt and flavorings, its profile changes entirely. Suddenly, what was once a heart-healthy snack becomes something that contributes to inflammation, weight gain, and unstable blood pressure. And for seniors whose bodies are more sensitive to these shifts, those small changes can have a noticeable effect. Roasting, for example, can be helpful or harmful depending on the method. Dry roasting preserves most of the nut's nutritional integrity, while roasting in oils, especially refined or unstable oils, adds unnecessary fats that your body may not process as well. These oils can oxidize during high heat roasting, creating compounds that add to oxidative stress rather than reducing it. That's the opposite of what you want, especially when you're eating nuts specifically for their antioxidant benefits. Lightly roasted or raw options avoid this problem and allow the nut's natural compounds to remain intact. Salt is another factor that deserves attention. A handful of salted nuts might not seem like much, but sodium adds up quickly, particularly with flavored varieties that hold salt in every fold and crack. When you're over 60, maintaining stable blood pressure becomes essential for protecting your heart and brain. Excess sodium can work against that goal by making the blood vessels hold onto extra fluid, and that pressure can quietly accumulate over time. Choosing unsalted or lightly salted nuts is a small shift that pays off in big ways, and then there are the sweetened varieties: honey, roasted, caramelized, chocolate, coated yogurt, dip. These turn a nutrient-dense food into a dessert disguised as a snack. The added sugars hit the bloodstream fast, causing spikes that drain your energy later and contribute to metabolic stress. For seniors trying to maintain steady glucose levels, these processed nuts make the body work harder than necessary. Finally, portion size matters. Nuts are dense with healthy fats, but they're still dense. Eating too many at once can lead to weight gain that creeps in slowly and becomes difficult to reverse. A small handful, about an ounce, is enough to deliver all the health benefits without overwhelming the system. When you choose the right preparation and portion, you transform nuts from a casual snack into a reliable, daily tool for supporting your health in the most natural and effortless way. Bringing the best nuts into your daily routine doesn't need to be complicated. In fact, the simpler you make it, the easier it becomes for your body to benefit from them day after day. What's most powerful is consistency, and the beauty of nuts is that they fit naturally into the rhythms of life without requiring major changes to how you eat. A small handful here, a sprinkle there, and over time you begin to build a pattern that supports your heart, your brain, your metabolism, and your overall sense of vitality. A few nuts added to your morning can set the tone for the entire day. Tossing them into oatmeal or yogurt gives you a nourishing blend of healthy fats, fiber, and antioxidants right when your body is waking up and preparing to work. This slow, steady release of energy prevents mid-morning slumps and helps keep your mind focused and clear. If you enjoy smoothies, a spoonful of chopped nuts or a nut-based topping adds texture while contributing to the nutrients that keep your blood vessels flexible and your circulation strong. As the day moves on, nuts make for a far better snack than anything processed. They're portable, satisfying, and naturally portioned when you stick to a small handful. This not only helps curb cravings, but also prevents overeating later in the day, which is something many people struggle with as metabolism slows in their 60s. When used intentionally, nuts can help stabilize appetite and support healthier food choices throughout the day. They also shine beautifully in meals. Adding them to salads provides a gentle crunch while strengthening the nutritional value of every bite. Incorporating them into rice, roasted vegetables, or stir-fries introduces healthy fats that help you better absorb fat-soluble nutrients from your meal. Even using nut butters, unsweetened and minimally processed, can be an effective way to bring these benefits into your routine. A small spoonful spread on whole grain bread or sliced fruit offers both satisfaction and nourishment without overwhelming the system. What matters most is choosing the right nuts and letting them become a natural, enjoyable part of your diet. When you do that, you're not just eating food, you're giving your body the steady, thoughtful support it needs to stay strong, energized, and resilient as the years move forward.